Hi guys, welcome to today's video. In today's video, we'll look into a scenario in which we continue our alternate future of North America series. And as you know in the last episode, a lot has happened, including Cascadian independence, a civil war in California, the collapse of the Confederate States. So now, let's go to the first thing. With Texas fully mobilizing, and they decide to go to war with the Californian Empire. You might think this will go bad, but it might not. And in Iran now, up in this area, a bunch of Texan rebels rise up, which leads to Texas having an easier time to victory. And how do they manage to get that? Well, they just did. As they quickly occupy these territories, as they start an offensive over here and over here, this leads to Californian forces having to withdraw. And then in the south, they launch an offensive, with the rebel groups controlling a lot of land. The Texan Liberation Army. With a Californian pushback happening to these two spearheads, as they are pushed right back. And up in the north, they're even pushed back to the border. And in this spearhead, not pushed back as far, but pretty far. But Texas starts taking the advantage at this point. With them advancing into areas of Mexican control and across the border over here. And California fails to push this back. Eventually, they agree to a peace treaty. So let's see how it goes. We can see Texas annexed its western territories back, and then it annexed a bit of land further, and a bit of land into the Mexico lands occupied by California. So let's get on to the next part, since we've already seen the peace. In the victory of the Texan forces. But at this point, we see Mexico decide it's time to invade Honduras. Why? Because they're losing land in the north. They decide, since they lost so much land in the north, it's time to expand to the south. And well, they quickly get pushed back as they move south towards Imperial Panama, which hasn't really done anything for a while. I'm sure they will eventually do something. Maybe even surprising. And now let's go as the formation of the new USA happened. Let's go see that. With the countries of New York keeping their borders like that as a federation forms, Virginia, Carolinas, and Georgia deciding to unite into a federation. And they all keep their lands the way they are within the Federation. And well, as you can see, we got a new union formed, with the USA being back. Yes, they were gone for a while, but now they're back. And well, let's go see what the Western Union does. Oh, they invade Cascadia. That independence for Cascadia, well, that was short-lived. I'm sure Alaska's just there like, we're the most neutral place here. We did nothing. And that's true. They basically did nothing. And South America basically did nothing. But then again, that's for North America. So who cares about those small parts of South America? Well, they might become important. Who knows? With them quickly marching in and taking over Vancouver and Vancouver Island, quickly moving into Seattle, and at this point, well, they surrender. And they are fully annexed. Yes, they got very far away from full annexation. And now the Western Union is happy because it has all of the West. Not all the West. Enough of the West. What's their ambition now? I don't know. Well, let's go down and see what happens with the Federation, with the American United States Federation, the Neo-United States, decides to go and not annex, because the Southern Federation decides to join it. And now we have, well, it greatly expanded. It's going to see how far it can get peacefully, but it might have to do a few other methods to get their lands back. But they are back. Is Canada going to try the same thing? With Ontario annexing Quebec. But no, that's not for today's video, so please like, subscribe, and comment while Mapper out, and until you subscribe. Bye, guys!